Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
From shocking Hollywood parties to mysterious disappearances and tragic deaths, what's really behind Ashton Kutcher's rise to fame?
What?
I'm great looking and he's jealous. I'm telling you, Jackie, this body is a curse.
How does a man who became a household name through lighthearted sitcoms have connections to some of Hollywood's darkest tragedies?
Ashton has been using his celebrity platform to advocate for trafficking. But now you're telling me that his wife just moved out because of things that are about to unfold with the Diddy case.
And what really happened to 12-year-old Daveigh Chase after she allegedly crossed paths with Ashton and Diddy?
So good, you're doing so good.
When you think of Ashton Kutcher, you might picture the goofy Michael Kelso from That 70s Show or the charming romantic lead in Hollywood rom-coms.
We can get back together.
Jackie, if you think that me kissing another girl is gonna bring us closer together, I'm totally willing to make that sad.
But what if I told you that beneath the polished image lies a series of unsettling events and allegations? From his ties to chilling Hollywood crimes to questionable relationships, Ashton's journey to stardom is far darker than it seems. And today, we're diving into the most controversial moments, starting with the demise of his girlfriend, Brittany Murphy. Brittany Murphy and Ashton Kutcher started dating after meeting on the set of Just Married. They only ended up dating for 5 months, but they apparently wore matching rings at one point, making many believe they were briefly engaged. On December 20th, 2009, Hollywood was rocked by the devastating news of Brittany Murphy's death. The actress, best known for her roles in Clueless and 8 Mile, was only 32 years old when she passed away suddenly in her Hollywood Hills home. Brittany had reportedly been feeling unwell for several days, with flu-like symptoms that had her weak and struggling to recover. Early that morning, she collapsed in the bathroom. Her mother, Sharon Murphy, who lived with Brittany and her husband, Simon Monjack, made the frantic 911 call. Despite efforts to save her, Brittany was pronounced dead at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center.
Hollywood is mourning the loss of Brittany Murphy this morning. The 32-year-old actress died on Sunday from what officials say appear to be...
The official cause of death was listed as pneumonia, anemia, and a combination of prescription and over-the-counter medications, including cold medicine and painkillers. While there were no illegal drugs found in her system, her passing shocked fans and sparked a wave of speculation. How could a young, vibrant woman fall so ill so quickly? Brittany's sudden death left many unanswered questions and cast a shadow over the glamorous life she seemed to lead. Brittany's home, a sprawling 10,000 square foot mansion nestled in the Hollywood Hills, became central to the intrigue surrounding her death. The house itself had an unusual backstory. Brittany purchased it in 2003 for $3.85 million from none other than Britney Spears, who reportedly sold the property because of unsettling experiences. Brittany later claimed she felt a strange, dark presence in the home, even suggesting it might be haunted. This eerie reputation would only grow after Brittany's tragic passing. Despite its luxury and breathtaking views, Brittany reportedly hated living there. According to Simon Monjack, she often referred to the property as unlucky and would beg to stay elsewhere, even suggesting they move to the Beverly Hills Hotel temporarily. But Simon, trying to be practical, would remind her that they had a beautiful home and couldn't just leave. Sadly, this home Brittany wanted to avoid became the place where her life ended. Adding to the house's mysterious aura was speculation about its potential role in Brittany's death. Some wondered if environmental factors, like toxic mold, could have contributed to her illness. In fact, Brittany's mother, Sharon, later claimed there were issues with mold in the home. However, the coroner's office dismissed this theory in 2010, stating there was no evidence linking mold to her death. Still, whispers of something sinister in the house persisted. The haunting rumors weren't limited to Brittany's death. Britney Spears' former makeup artist once revealed on a podcast that Brittany had experienced frightening encounters while living there. She even blamed a Reiki healing session for opening a spirit portal that allegedly unleashed bad energy. These unsettling stories only deepen the sense that the house held more than just memories, it held secrets. If Brittany's death wasn't shocking enough, the story took an even darker turn just 5 months later. On May 23, 2010, her husband Simon Monjack was found dead in the same home.
Now to the latest Hollywood mystery. The husband of actress Brittany Murphy has been found dead just 5 months after her.
Like Brittany, Simon died of acute pneumonia and severe anemia. His death mirrored hers so closely that it reignited speculation about the house, their lifestyle, and whether more was at play than met the eye. Simon, a British screenwriter, had been a controversial figure even before Brittany's death. Many of her friends and fans were skeptical of their relationship, with some accusing him of controlling her career and personal life. After Brittany passed, Simon faced criticism for how he handled her legacy, but his own health was deteriorating during this time. His mother, Linda Monjack, later revealed that Simon had experienced hallucinations and strange symptoms before his death, which she blamed on mold in the house. Despite these claims, authorities again ruled out environmental factors, sticking to the conclusion that Simon's death, like Brittany's, was the result of pneumonia. Anyway, as if that's not bad enough, there are also allegations that Kutcher allegedly took advantage of Daveigh Chase while she was still a young actress. Daveigh Chase's story starts in Las Vegas, Nevada, where she was born on July 24, 1990. Growing up in the small town of Albany, Oregon, Daveigh had what seemed like a normal childhood. But even at a young age, it was clear she wasn't an ordinary kid. By the time she was just 3 years old, she was already stealing the spotlight with her singing and dancing at local events. Her parents recognized her talent early on and encouraged her to chase her dreams in the entertainment industry. By the age of 7, Daveigh got her first taste of the big leagues when she starred in a Campbell's soup commercial. Her natural charm and on-screen presence made her stand out, and it wasn't long before more opportunities came knocking. Around the same time, she was offered a lead role in a musical theater production called Utah, a big deal for any kid, let alone one just starting out. Things really took off when she began auditioning for TV shows and movies. By age 8, Daveigh had already landed her first major TV gig and was testing for roles left and right. Though some early projects didn't pan out, her persistence paid off. By 2003, she snagged a role on Fox's Oliver Bean, playing Oliver's quirky best friend Joyce. This was just the beginning of a career that was about to explode. Daveigh's career-defining moment came in 2002 when Disney chose her as the voice of Lilo in the animated classic Lilo and Stitch. This wasn't just another Disney movie. It became a cultural phenomenon. Lilo was spunky, smart, and full of heart, and Daveigh's voice brought her to life in a way that resonated with audiences all over the world. The movie was a huge hit, and the line, "Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten," became one of the most memorable quotes of the time.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets
left behind.
Or
forgotten.
Daveigh's performance wasn't just about reading lines, it was about making Lilo feel real. She made you laugh, cry, and cheer for a little girl who was just trying to hold her family together. Disney loved her so much that they had her voice Lilo for the Lilo and Stitch TV series, video games, and other spin-offs. She wasn't just a kid playing a part, she was now a major name in the entertainment world. While most people loved Daveigh for her sweet and lovable Lilo voice, she took a sharp turn in her career with a completely different role. In 2002, she terrified audiences as Samara Morgan in The Ring. Remember that creepy girl crawling out of the TV? That was Daveigh Chase. Her haunting performance earned her the MTV Movie Award for Best Villain, and it's safe to say she earned it. The role solidified her status as more than just a child star. It showed the world she could handle intense, dramatic, and downright scary roles.
I just want to say, everyone will.
What's wild is that in the same year, she also voiced Chihiro in Spirited Away, the English-dubbed version of Hayao Miyazaki's masterpiece. The film went on to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, making Daveigh part of not just one but two iconic projects in the same year. By the time she was 12, Daveigh Chase had accomplished more than most people do in a lifetime. She was balancing major roles in movies, TV shows, and voice acting, all while navigating the pressures of growing up. She was described by directors and co-stars as being wise beyond her years, with an incredible work ethic. But being a young star isn't all glitz and glamour. Hollywood can be tough, especially on kids. The constant pressure, lack of privacy, and the industry's darker side can take a toll. And while Daveigh seemed to have it all, things weren't as perfect as they appeared. Just as quickly as she rose to fame, Daveigh started to disappear from the spotlight. By her late teens, she wasn't landing as many big roles, and fans began to wonder what had happened to the girl who had once been everywhere. Some thought she had simply grown tired of Hollywood and wanted a normal life. Others whispered about darker reasons, rumors about the exploitation of child stars and the toxic environment that often surrounds young actors. You see, back in 2003, Daveigh was invited to one of Diddy's legendary after-parties. In fact, a resurfaced video clip of the incident has recently gone viral amid the mounting charges of SA and abuse against him, giving the rapper a fresh headache. In the 2003 clip, Sean Diddy, the embattled rapper, can be seen inviting a then 12-year-old child actress Daveigh Chase to an MTV after-party. The video, which is now circulating widely on social media, is now raising eyebrows as the rapper and businessman awaits trials on charges of STFing and racketeering. In the disturbing clip, the 54-year-old Sean Diddy Combs can be seen approaching the then 12-year-old The Ring actress backstage at the 2003 MTV Movie Awards. He is seen chatting with Daveigh Chase and asks if she's coming to the after-party tonight as he holds a drink near his mouth. However, it remains unclear whether Chase attended the party or not. According to Page 6, Combs and the girl seemingly met earlier in the night when he and a then 25-year-old ASHTON Kutcher presented her with the Best Villain Award for her role as Samara in the horror film The Ring. While accepting the award, ASHTON Kutcher hovered over her, telling her she was doing so good and gently rubbed her shoulder.
So good, you're doing so good.
Soon after the video went viral on the internet, netizens took to social media to call out the disgraced rapper as sick, gross, and disgusting. How did it take this long for Diddy to be arrested? Nobody thought it was odd he was inviting 13-year-olds to his parties. This was approved and encouraged at the highest levels, wrote one ex-user. Diddy did all this publicly. Imagine what happened behind closed doors. I hope they lock him up for life, another one said. Many also slammed Kutcher for patting Chase's arms. Is that ASHTON Kutcher creeping behind? Remarked one more user, while another said, there is no hell deep enough or punishment strong enough for this group of predatory serial R's and child M'ers. And then there is the case of Ashley Ellerin, Kutcher's girlfriend from 2001. In the early hours of February 22, 2001, the brutal unalivement of 22-year-old Ashley Ellerin shocked Hollywood. A vibrant fashion student with her whole life ahead of her, Ashley was found dead in her Hollywood home, stabbed 47 times. She had been preparing for a date with none other than that 70s show star ASHTON Kutcher.
Ashley was stabbed 47 times. They also said it was evident that Ashley had just taken a shower and her body was found.
ASHTON Kutcher, the rising Hollywood heartthrob at the time, was scheduled to pick up Ashley for a night out. When he arrived, however, the lights were on, but the door was locked. Peering through the window, ASHTON saw what he thought was spilled red wine on the floor. Unbeknownst to him, Ashley's lifeless body was just inside. Kutcher, assuming she had left with someone else, simply left the scene, later calling the incident a misunderstanding.
Mr. Kutcher looked in the window and saw what he thought was spilled wine on the floor. We believe now the evidence will show that was actually blood.
The next morning, Ashley's roommate made the horrific discovery. The scene was gruesome. Ashley had been brutally stabbed nearly 50 times. Her unalivement would later be tied to a man known as the Hollywood Ripper, Michael Gargiulo, a serial unaliver who stalked and unalived women across California. But something about ASHTON's behavior that night has never sat right with fans. And now, more than 2 decades later, explosive new information has surfaced that points to a potential cover-up. Fast forward to 2019, and ASHTON Kutcher found himself back in the spotlight, not for his acting career, but as a key witness in the trial of Michael Gargiulo. Kutcher testified that he was freaking out after hearing about Ashley's death, especially since his fingerprints were all over her front door.
Her blood.
Kutcher told the jury when he eventually learned that Ashley had been murdered, he, quote, freaked out, knowing his fingerprints were on.
He claimed to have innocently thought the red stains on the carpet were from spilled wine, but fans couldn't help but raise eyebrows at his nonchalant response to seeing what was later revealed to be blood. Some even went as far as to question whether ASHTON knew more than he let on. In fact, some conspiracy theorists suggested that ASHTON may have been more deeply involved than the public initially realized. Questions began circulating. Why didn't ASHTON call the police when he saw the suspicious scene? Why did it take him nearly 2 hours to arrive at Ashley's home after their phone call? These unanswered questions haunted many, and while Gargiulo was eventually convicted, Ashton's role in the night of Ashley's death continued to raise eyebrows. In a stunning twist, Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher's longtime partner and wife, has allegedly started planning on her exit strategy from her marriage to Ashton Kutcher. For weeks, rumors of a split between her and Ashton have been circulating. Sources close to the couple claim that Mila is growing uncomfortable with Ashton's ties not only to his late girlfriend's unalivement, but also to the now disgraced hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Could Mila be cooperating with authorities behind the scenes? If so, it makes sense why she's distanced herself from Ashton. She may know something explosive that could put Ashton in serious legal jeopardy. After all, she has been by his side for years and would have had access to his private world. There are even whispers that Mila has been speaking with federal investigators, providing key information that could potentially expose Ashton's role in Diddy's criminal circle. If that's true, Ashton's world could be about to come crashing down. You see, many people don't realize that Ashton Kutcher and Diddy go way back. Sean Combs has gone by a million names over the years. Started out in the 90s in NYC, back when he was P. Diddy, then Puffy, then just Love. He launched Bad Boy Records in '93, which eventually became Bad Boy Entertainment, one of the biggest names in the music biz. And he didn't just bring any old artist with him, he brought the notorious Big, aka Christopher Wallace. That name alone was making Bad Boy Entertainment some millions a year at one point.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died.
But here's the thing, Combs wasn't just making headlines because of his music. Oh no, he was all over the place. Fashion, TV shows, you name it. And this is where things get interesting. Combs found himself rubbing elbows with another A-lister, Ashton Kutcher. Yep, that's right. Diddy and Ashton were tight.
Information in the indictment, and today we are focusing on something else. We are focusing on Sean Combs' fame, his influence. Because Sean Combs, who has gone by a lot.
So how did these two link up? It all started with Punk'd. You remember that prank show on MTV, right? But Combs didn't stop there. He also produced a bunch of seasons of Making the Band on MTV, where wannabe stars competed to make it big. And during all of this, Ashton and Diddy were often spotted together at events, parties, you name it. Ashton was a regular at Diddy's famous Labor Day white party back in 2010. You know, those bougie events where everyone wears white and things probably get wild behind the scenes. Here's a fun tidbit. When Time magazine named Ashton one of the 100 most influential people that year, Diddy gushed over him saying, "Ashton Kutcher is a sounding board for me. Like me, he's a mogul, a new media mogul, but we're like yin and yang. I'm in your face, and he's all cool and suave." Cute, right? Fast forward to 2019, and Ashton's on Hot Ones, getting grilled by Sean Evans while eating spicy wings. Of course, the topic of Diddy's legendary parties came up, and let's just say Ashton had a lot of stories he couldn't tell either.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell.
With Diddy facing charges that include everything from ST ficking to racketeering, people are now wondering if Ashton Kutcher knew more than he's letting on. In any case, Ashton Kutcher is definitely not the innocent party in all of this. You see, last year, Ashton and Mila found themselves knee-deep in controversy, and it's all thanks to some resurfaced clips like these. Apparently, the Kutchers faced backlash, which stemmed from them backing Danny Masterson, who has already faced legal consequences due to allegations of SA.
News, Danny Masterson has just been sentenced to 30 years to life in prison and has been ordered to register as a sex offender. A jury convicted the actor on 2 counts of rape back
after the Kutchers' outspoken support for the accused. Christina Ricci boldly called them out, triggering a cascade of revelations about their own history. In a stark white font against a dramatic black background, Christina shared her sentiments, saying, "Unfortunately, I've known lots of awesome guys who were lovely to me, who have been proven to be abusers privately. I've also had personal experience with this. Believe victims. It's not easy to come forward. It's not easy to get a conviction." In a separate slide, she continued, "So sometimes people we have loved and admired do horrible things. They might not do these things to us, and we only know who they were to us. But that doesn't mean they didn't do the horrible things, and to discredit the abused is a crime. People we know as awesome guys can be P-daters and abusers. It's tough to accept, but we have to. If we say support victims, women, children, men, boys, then we must be able to take this stance," the note concluded. While Christina Ricci didn't drop any names, her social media posts left little to the imagination, seemingly aimed at the celebrity couple currently embroiled in a whirlwind of controversy, none other than Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. These two have been under the microscope for their unwavering support of Masterson. For context, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis wrote to the court as character references urging Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Charlene Olmedo to offer Masterson leniency in letters dated between July and August last year, after he was convicted in May of the same year for SA. In his letter obtained by The Hollywood Reporter, Kutcher referred to his co-star as a role model with exceptional character and explained that Masterson was the reason Kutcher didn't fall into drugs. Any time that we were to meet someone or interact with someone who was on drugs or did drugs, he made it clear that that wouldn't be a good person to be friends with, the Your Place or Mine star wrote. Kunis wrote in her letter that Masterson had been an exceptional older brother figure to her. She also touted his avoidance of drugs, which inspired her to stay away from substances. Danny's steadfastness in promoting a drug-free lifestyle has been a guiding light in my journey through the entertainment world and has helped me prioritize my well-being and focus on making responsible choices, the Friends with Benefits actress added. The married duo decided to address the brewing storm with a joint video apology that hit the internet on a sultry Saturday afternoon. In their confession, they spilled the beans about how the Mastersons family had asked them to vouch for their 25-year acquaintance. They said,
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration.
Kutcher then added, they were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that, and we're sorry if that has taken place. Critics were quick to take to X to unleash their dismay over the lawyered apology. Journalist Yashar Ali wrote on the site, it's important to note that the letters weren't just character letters you'd write for a friend. The letters, which contained a great deal of Scientological phrasing, were intended to undermine the victims who were drugged by Danny. Another person referred to the apology as, more like, sorry public, we did not know that our letter would be read publicly. We still want to support our horrible friend in court. They are not sorry. At the same time, fans called out the irony of Kutcher's defense while running a charity that fights child SA.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's
Kutcher co-founded Thorn with his ex-wife, Demi Moore. The organization partners with tech companies, NGOs, and law enforcement to fight illegal human trading of young ones in the digital age. One fan commented on this saying, I hope no one forgot Ashton Kutcher is a co-founder of Thorn. Interesting that a man who claims to advocate for SA also defended a man who is accused of such a thing. Meanwhile, after all this backlash, Christina re-emerged on Instagram stories to clarify that she wasn't referring specifically to the Kutchers, although she admitted that recent events have made her think more about this. What I wrote wasn't meant to seem so pointed, she began in the post to her 1.6 million followers. It's just something I've been thinking about generally as different individuals' wrongdoings have come to light over the past couple of years, and I too have found it difficult to reconcile the person or people I knew with the things they've done, she finished. But yes, recent events have made me think more about this. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.